Good morning, everyone. It's Wednesday morning and we just went for a short walk along the beach to this beautiful spot here, which is called Rocky Point, as you can tell. What better place could have been chosen to talk about battery problems of the Outlander PHEV. I need to be careful. So as you have seen in my previous video, I have lost about 0.5 ampere hours on capacity while we were on the move. So this was a 400 kilometer trip only, and I lost half an ampere hour. I actually was quite expecting it, because this happened since the last recondition procedure they have done with the car, and every 200-250 kilometers I'm losing 0.1 ampere hour. And because this was a longer trip and we had some recharging in between from the public charges, and I did a lot of regen during the trip as well. So the ECU of the PHEV has problems to calculate the overall capacity correctly now. I plugged it in directly with the standard EVSE, charged it up to 100% overnight, and as you have seen on the meter, it has used 9.7 kilowatt hours to recharge the battery. So that's why I said the battery must be in a very good health, because it takes so much energy still, yeah? So the capacity must be really up. Unfortunately, the ECU and the battery management system don't seem to recognize this capacity. I mean, to be honest, the only way to measure the capacity correctly would be to discharge the battery to 0% and then recharge it to 100%. And I think on these longer trips, when you use a lot of regen and accelerations, or you have high input and output power in the battery, I shouldn't say it confuses the ECU, but the ECU is not able to calculate the real capacity anymore, and then gives you an estimate. And the estimate is always lower than you had before. And this shows why the actual battery level or the state of health is going down in the PHEV Watchdog all the time. Yeah. It can't determine the full capacity of the battery anymore. And the only way to fix this is using this MUT3 device from Mitsubishi, which obviously recalibrates the battery state of health with the state of charge level of the ECU. And that's what they have done 6 weeks ago with my battery, yeah? Because my capacity of the battery was really down to 80% after 59,000 kilometers. And they have done the magic with it, and I got it back and it had 100% again. And this exactly shows me the battery has not degenerated at all, because otherwise they wouldn't be able to get the full capacity back. The voltages are still the same, so they haven't just moved the capacity area and made it wider. They have recalibrated the ECU to the actual battery capacity, and that's the weights. And that's why I was able to push in 10 kilowatt hours during a normal charge. So the actual capacity, the ability to take charge is still there. The state of health of the battery must be still at 100% or very close to it. So it can't be less. The 80% it showed me before was just an estimate of the ECU. It drifts away from the real state of charge. The whole problem is really the ECU and the battery management software, which is not able to determine the actual state of health of the battery. And this is a big problem. We have found this awesome snail here underwater. I've got the GoPro there underwater, filming it eating. Let's see how this looks like. That snail was awesome here, huh? Just living in this rock pool here. Wow. To me it looks like Mitsubishi knows about the software problem with the ECU and the battery capacity calibration, because otherwise they wouldn't offer this reconditioning process to customers for about, I heard something about 650 pounds in England. Rocky Point. And we are back at the beach this afternoon, enjoying the sun and the water. Just amazing. We also found more rubbish though. A ball with a puncture and an empty can from some more irresponsible people. Actually, talking about irresponsibility, Mitsubishi does actually a similar thing to its customer. Yeah? So Mitsubishi should actually care about what is happening in regards to the Outlander PHEV and the battery management software problem. I personally would be more than happy to share all my findings and results and measurements with Mitsubishi to help making this software better. And I guess the same with you. You have collected all your data, especially when you have the PHEV Watchdog running. You know exactly what's going on with the battery. It would be fairly easy to actually share all this information with Mitsubishi now. And again, for me it looks more like they have done their first deal, their initial deal, sold you the car, and now it's up to you to figure it out. Yeah. And honestly, without the PHEV Watchdog or a similar app on your phone, you wouldn't have access to all these details anyway. But over time you probably would, or you would realize the car is doing less kilometers on pure EV range. And you probably would think, oh, this is a battery degradation thing because the car is already 3, 4, 5 years old and the battery is just not as good anymore. But as I said before, the battery seems to be almost 100% fine. And if you look at other cars like the Tesla, I mean, they have done 300,000 miles with it and the battery was only degraded by 7%. All the Tesla cars, they're sharing all the information with each other, with other cars, with the headquarters at Tesla, and they refining and modifying the software constantly to make the car better, so the car can actually learn from other cars. And this is just not happening with Mitsubishi at all. Yeah, you've got only your car and that's it. So, okay, I'll go back in the water because it's fairly hot today. So what do you reckon? Should we just drive the car and don't worry about all this software and battery stuff at all? Should we keep collecting information, put them on the PHEV Watchdog net, the new portal? Should we just drive the car, not making these videos anymore? Do we just care and get back to Mitsubishi and say, look, that's what we found out and you can make this better. You can make an awesome product actually, just with minimal effort, because we have collected all the information for you already. So let me know what you think. Are we crazy or are we just geeks, or what are we? I have no idea. We have to share the beach with 2 other people now. Insane. All these negative comments being made about this battery management software. I mean, at the end of the day, it's doing a pretty good job in protecting the battery from degradation, because otherwise Mitsubishi would not be able to recover the battery after 3 years and 60,000 kilometers like they have done in my one. It's not actually a degradation of the battery, it's the software. We see us in the next video. Thanks for watching. Stay charged.